The archive station floated alone in deep space, far from trade routes and far from help. It was old, silent, and officially scheduled for deletion. In less than 12 hours, its core would overload, wiping all data and turning the station into drifting debris. No one was supposed to be here. A human was here anyway. His name was Aaron Cole. He wore a worn exploration suit with faded Earth markings on the arm. He moved carefully through the dark corridor, boots echoing softly against metal that had not felt footsteps in decades. His helmet light cut a narrow path through the shadows. Dust floated in the air like frozen stars. Aaron had one mission: recover the hidden archive before it was erased forever. The data stored here was dangerous. It proved that humans had resisted the Galactic Authority in secret, long before anyone believed they could. If the data survived, humanity's future might change. If it was destroyed, the truth would die with the station. Aaron reached a sealed observation chamber near the core. His scanner beeped once. Life sign detected. He froze. There should be no life signs. Slowly, he lowered his weapon and opened the chamber door. Inside, the room was dim. A cracked viewing window showed distant stars. In the center of the room sat a figure bound by energy restraints. She was not human. She was tall and slender, with pale silver skin and large dark eyes that reflected the light like glass. Thin markings glowed faintly along her neck and arms. She wore the uniform of the Galactic Observation Corps, an observer. Her species did not fight wars. They recorded them. They watched civilizations rise and fall, storing records before destruction. They were supposed to be neutral. She lifted her head when she saw him. Her eyes widened slightly, but she did not scream. "A human," she said calmly. Her voice was soft, almost curious. "You were not listed among authorized personnel." Aaron said nothing at first. He scanned the room, checking for traps. Then he moved closer and cut the restraints with a tool. "Why are you here?" he asked. "I was assigned to observe the deletion of this station," she replied. "My designation is Lurie." Aaron frowned. "Observe deletion." "Yes, this archive contains prohibited historical data. The authority ordered its removal. I was to confirm total erasure." Aaron's jaw tightened. That confirmed it. The authority knew exactly what this place held. Before he could respond, the station shook violently. Warning lights flashed red. A loud alarm filled the chamber. "Unauthorized vessel detected," the station announced. "Boarding in progress." Aaron swore under his breath. "They're early," he muttered. Lurie stood slowly, steady despite the shaking. "Authority enforcers," she said. "They will secure the archive and eliminate witnesses." Aaron didn't hesitate. He grabbed her arm and pulled her into the corridor. "This way," he said. They ran. The station groaned as magnetic clamps locked onto its hull. Explosions echoed far away as boarding teams forced entry. The lights flickered. Emergency doors slammed shut one by one. Aaron led them toward a reinforced data vault near the station's core. It was small, heavily shielded, and built to survive extreme events. As they reached it, Aaron typed in a code and pushed Lurie inside. "What are you doing?" she asked. He followed her in and slammed the door shut. Then, without pause, he locked it. The vault door sealed with a heavy metallic sound. Lurie stared at the door, then at him. "You have confined us," she said. "Yes," Aaron replied. Outside, footsteps echoed. Voices shouted orders. Weapons fired. The door shuddered as something struck it from the other side. "This door will hold," Aaron said, more to himself than to her. Lurie studied him closely. Her species was trained to analyze behavior, to record emotional patterns. Humans were known for unpredictability, but this was different. "You did not ask for my consent," she observed. "No time," he said. "If they get in, we're dead, or worse." She said nothing. The vault was small, bare metal walls, a single terminal, emergency oxygen reserves. One narrow bench. Aaron removed his helmet and wiped sweat from his face. He moved quickly to the terminal and began transferring data into a portable core. How long will the door remain secure? Lurie asked. 10 minutes, maybe 15. And the oxygen? 6 hours. If we're lucky. Lurie looked at the locked door again. She could have protested. She could have demanded he open it, but she did not. She sat on the bench and watched him work. Outside, the enforcers tried cutting tools. The door glowed faintly from heat. It held. Why are you risking yourself for this data? Lurie asked. Aaron didn't stop typing. Because it matters. To whom? To everyone who doesn't want their history erased. She considered that. History is often erased. It is efficient. Aaron laughed softly without humor. Not to humans. The transfer continued. Minutes passed. The station shook again, harder this time. They will breach eventually, Lurie said. Yeah, Aaron replied. That's why we need a plan. He finished the transfer and pulled the core free. He checked the oxygen gauge. Still good for now. Lurie tilted her head. You locked the door knowing it might become our grave. Yes. And yet, she said slowly, you appear calm. Aaron leaned against the wall and exhaled. Fear doesn't help. She studied him in silence. Her species believed emotional restraint was the highest form of intelligence. Yet here was a human, driven by emotion, making rational choices under pressure. The door shook again. This station will self-destruct, Lurie said. If you escape with the data, the authority will pursue humanity. They already are, Aaron said. This just levels the field. Another impact hit the door. A crack appeared in the outer layer. Lurie stood. There is something you should know, she said. Aaron looked at her. Now's a great time. I was not sent only to observe, she admitted. I was ordered to ensure the data did not leave this station. Aaron stiffened. You're an executioner, he said. I was, she corrected. But observation has limits. I have watched countless species disappear. Humans resist, even when afraid, even when outmatched. She met his eyes. You locked the door without asking, not to control me, but to protect the mission. He said nothing. I did not ask you to stop, she continued, because I understood your choice. The door groaned loudly. Sparks fell from the ceiling. They're almost through, Aaron said. Lurie raised her hand. A faint light formed around her fingers. My people possess limited phase manipulation, she said. It is forbidden to use it without approval. And, Aaron asked. And deletion overrides approval. She placed her hand on the vault wall. The metal shimmered. I can buy us time, she said, but there will be consequences. Aaron nodded. Story of my species. She smiled faintly. It was the first time. The wall solidified again, stronger than before. The door stopped shaking. Outside, the enforcers shouted in confusion. Aaron checked the oxygen gauge again. Lower now. We still need extraction, he said. There is no extraction, Lurie replied. Not officially. Aaron looked at the data core in his hand. Then we make one. He activated his suit beacon, sending a narrow signal burst through the interference. If anyone's listening, he murmured, now would be a good time. The station trembled once more. The countdown timer appeared on the wall, deletion in 10 hours. Lurie looked at it, then back at the human. This recording, she said quietly, will change many things, Aaron nodded, if we live long enough to send it. They waited in the locked vault, surrounded by silence, alarms, and fading oxygen. The door remained sealed, and for the first time in her long career, Lurie did not feel like an observer. She felt like part of the story. The vault stayed quiet for several minutes after the wall reinforced itself. Outside, the enforcers stopped striking the door. Their voices became distant, filled with confusion and anger. Whatever Lurie had done, it worked for now. Aaron sat on the floor with his back against the wall, breathing slowly to save oxygen. The emergency lights cast a dull red glow across the small space. The countdown timer continued to tick down in silence. Lurie stood near the reinforced wall, her hand lowered now, the faint light gone. Her breathing was calm, controlled. Her species used less oxygen than humans, but even she understood the danger. You used forbidden ability, Aaron said quietly. Yes, Lurie replied. If recorded, it would result in my deletion. Aaron glanced at her. You regret it? No, she said. Observation without action is no longer acceptable to me. That surprised him. He nodded once and looked back at the oxygen gauge, still enough but dropping slowly. Minutes passed. Suddenly, the vault terminal flickered to life. Incoming signal detected. Aaron's heart jumped. He rushed to the terminal and stabilized the connection. A distorted image appeared static, then the outline of a ship's bridge. Aaron Cole, a voice said. This is Captain Reyes. You're cutting through heavy interference. Status. Aaron smiled for the first time since boarding the station. Alive, cornered, carrying the archive. Reyes cursed softly. We saw authority ships arrive. We can't dock. The station is locked down. I know, Aaron said. I just need a window. 5 seconds. Silence on the other end as systems recalculated. We might be able to pull you out through the maintenance rail, Reyes said, but you'll need to reach it. It's outside the core sector. Aaron looked at the sealed door. That's a problem. Lurie stepped closer. There may be another way. Both humans on the channel paused. Reyes spoke carefully. Who's that? An ally, Aaron said. Long story. Lurie raised her hand to the terminal. This station was designed for deletion, not defense. There are hidden evacuation protocols meant for observers. Observers? Reyes asked. Yes, she replied, like me. She accessed the system with movements too fast and precise for human hands. Symbols and data streamed across the screen. There, she said. Emergency phase corridor. It was meant to extract observers if deletion became unstable. Aaron leaned closer. Where does it exit? Near the maintenance rail, Lurie answered. But activating it will alert every authority system in range. Reyes let out a short laugh. They already know you're there. Aaron nodded. Do it. Lurie activated the corridor. The vault wall shimmered again, then folded inward, revealing a narrow tunnel of distorted light. It looked unstable, barely held together by energy. Oxygen loss will increase, Lurie warned. We must move now. Aaron grabbed the data core and secured it to his suit. He checked his weapon, then stepped toward the tunnel. Before entering, he looked back at the vault door, the locked door that had started everything. Ready? He asked. Lurie nodded. They stepped into the corridor. The sensation was unlike anything Aaron had felt. Pressure vanished. Sound disappeared. For a moment, it felt like falling through thought itself. Then gravity slammed back into place. They emerged in a maintenance shaft, alarms blaring all around them. The station shook violently now. The countdown timer flashed across wall screens. Deletion in 9 hours. Authority enforcers were everywhere. Aaron raised his weapon and fired at a control panel sealing one end of the shaft. Sparks flew. Smoke filled the air. This way, Lurie said, pointing down the shaft. They ran. The station was dying. Lights flickered. Gravity shifted without warning. Sections of the floor collapsed into darkness. They moved fast, trusting instinct more than maps. As they reached the maintenance rail access, a squad of enforcers blocked their path. Armored, heavily armed. Aaron stopped, raising his weapon. Too many, he muttered. Lurie stepped forward instead. She raised both hands, palms open. A low vibration filled the air. The enforcers hesitated as the space around them distorted. Their targeting systems failed. One by one, they collapsed, not dead, but unconscious. Aaron stared. Remind me never to fight your people. She lowered her hands, breathing slightly heavier now. This ability is costly. The maintenance rail door opened. Cold space stared back at them. A narrow magnetic path extended outward, leading to open void. Rey's voice returned in Aaron's helmet. We see you. Rail is active. Move fast. They stepped onto the rail. Stars stretched around them. Below, the station glowed with unstable energy. Above, a human ship waited, engines hot. As they moved along the rail, authority ships turned toward them, weapons charged. The human ship fired first, precise, controlled, defensive. Rey's ship moved closer, shielding them with its hull. tractor beams locked on. Aaron and Lurie were pulled aboard just as the maintenance rail collapsed behind them. The hangar sealed. Gravity returned. Air rushed in. Aaron removed his helmet and laughed, breathless. That was close. Reyes approached, eyes locked on Lurie. You must be the ally. Lurie met her gaze calmly. Former observer. Reyes nodded slowly. Anyone who helps us is welcome here. Alarms sounded again. Authority fleet incoming, a crew member shouted. Reyes looked at Aaron. We jump now. The ship leapt into hyperspace, leaving the doomed station behind. Silence filled the bridge. Lurie stared at the stars as they blurred past. The station will erase itself. All official records will be lost. Aaron held up the data core. Not all. She studied the small device. That information will make humans enemies of many powers. Aaron shrugged. Already are. Reyes turned serious. The Authority will claim you abducted an observer. Lurie nodded. I anticipated that. You okay with that? Reyes asked. I am no longer okay with watching extinction as policy, Lurie replied. The ship traveled in silence for a while. Finally, Lurie spoke again. My people will release a public deletion notice. They will believe this archive was destroyed. Aaron frowned. But it was. No, she said, because I will alter the record. She accessed the ship's terminal and uploaded a single file. Title, Watch Before Deleted. This will be my final observation, she said. Not of a station, but of a choice. Reyes read the title and smiled slightly. Clever. Aaron looked at Lurie. You're risking everything. She met his eyes. Humans do that without hesitation. I am learning. The ship jumped again, deeper into safe space. Behind them, the Authority searched empty debris, unaware that the truth had escaped. And somewhere in the galaxy, a recording waited to be seen. The human ship traveled far beyond normal routes, moving through quiet space where no Authority signal towers existed. For the first time since the escape, the crew could breathe without alarms screaming in their ears. The danger was not gone, but it was distant, like thunder after a storm. Aaron stood alone in the small observation room, holding the data core. He watched the stars slide past the window. Every light out there represented a system, a world, a story. Some had already been erased. Others were waiting. Behind him, the door opened softly. Lurie entered the room. She had changed out of her observer uniform into simple human clothing provided by the crew. It fit her strangely, but she wore it without complaint. The glowing markings on her skin were dimmer now, as if exhausted. The captain says we will reach a safe relay in 3 hours, she said. Aaron nodded. Good. Once we upload the data, there's no going back. There was no going back when you locked the door, she replied calmly. He smiled faintly. Fair point. They stood in silence for a moment. You are quieter than before, Aaron said. That's saying something. Lurie looked at the stars. I am thinking about consequences. My species believes deeply in consequences. And, he asked. And humans act first, she said. Then accept the consequences later, he chuckled. That's one way to put it. The ship suddenly shook. Red lights flashed. Authority jump signatures detected. A voice shouted over the intercom. Aaron's smile vanished. He grabbed the data core and ran for the bridge. Lurie followed. The bridge was alive with movement. Screens showed 3 Authority ships dropping out of hyperspace nearby, sleek, powerful, designed for control, not mercy. They tracked us, Reyes said grimly. They always do. Aaron stepped forward. Can we outrun them? Reyes shook her head. Not with this ship, not without dumping weight. Everyone's eyes went to the data core. Aaron tightened his grip. Not happening. I agree, Reyes said, but we need time. Lurie stepped forward. I may provide that time, she said. Reyes turned. How? The Authority will listen to me, Lurie replied, at least for a moment. You want to talk to them? Aaron asked. Yes, Reyes hesitated. They might try to take you back. They will, Lurie said calmly. But they will not expect what I say. Before anyone could stop her, Lurie accessed the communication console and opened a wideband channel. The face of an authority commander appeared on the main screen. His eyes widened when he saw her. "Observer Lurie," he said coldly. "You are in violation of multiple protocols." "Yes," she replied, "I am. You will surrender yourself and the human vessel immediately." Lurie did not bow, she did not lower her eyes. "No," she said. Silence fell across both ships. "You forget your place," the commander said. "No," Lurie replied. "I remember it clearly. My place was to watch civilizations die quietly. I no longer accept that role." The commander's expression hardened. "You were compromised by human influence." "Yes," she said simply, "and enlightened by it." She raised her hand and transmitted a file. "Before you act," she continued, "you should watch this." The file transferred instantly. Title: Watch before deleted. The commander hesitated, then opened it. Minutes passed. The bridge of the human ship was silent. Even the engines seemed to hum more quietly. Finally, the commander spoke again, his voice changed. "This recording, it violates authority narrative." "Yes," Lurie said, "because the narrative is false. You recorded forbidden events." "I recorded truth," she replied. A human locked a door to protect knowledge, not to control life. A human risked extinction to preserve history. That behavior is not primitive. It is dangerous only to those who rule through silence. The commander's jaw tightened. "You are condemning your species," he said. "No," Lurie replied, "I am saving others." The authority ship's powered weapons. Aaron stepped forward, heart pounding. Reyes whispered, "Get ready." But the weapons did not fire. Instead, the authority commander closed his eyes. "This recording will spread," he said quietly. "Even now, others are receiving it." "Yes," Lurie said, "deletion cannot erase what has been seen." The commander looked directly at Aaron through the screen. "Humans are troublesome," he said, "but effective." Then the screen went dark. The authority ships turned away. They jumped out of the system. For a long moment no one spoke. Then the bridge erupted in quiet laughter, disbelief, and relief. Reyes exhaled hard. "We're alive." Aaron sank into a chair. His hands were shaking. Lurie stood still, eyes unfocused. "What did you do?" Aaron asked softly. "I broke observation law," she replied. "Completely." The ship reached the relay point hours later. The data upload began. The archive spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, hidden networks activated. Old allies emerged. Neutral worlds questioned authority control. Observers hesitated for the first time in centuries. Humans were no longer just survivors. They were proof. Days later, in a quiet system far from conflict, the human ship powered down. Aaron stood beside Lurie on a small, artificial garden deck. Plants from Earth grew under soft light. "You don't have to stay with us," Aaron said. "You could disappear. New identity, new life." Lurie looked at the plants. "My people will never fully accept me again." He nodded. "Yeah, that happens." She turned to him. "But humans did not ask me to leave." "No," he said. "We don't throw away those who choose us." She considered that. "Then I will stay," she said. News continued to spread. The phrase "he locked the door and she didn't ask him to stop" became a symbol, not of fear, not of control, but of trust, of choosing action over silence, of locking out extinction. And somewhere deep in the archives of many worlds, a single recording remained undeleted. Watched, remembered, and impossible to erase.